What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. Thursday edition here, man. It's September 7th. We only got one game today. The WNBA regular season is starting to trickle down now. Last couple games, basically, most teams have a couple games here, man. I'm your host, Jay Money. We got our guy Ronald Cabang, aka U Capper. We got our Skee over there? He over there at the house. So we got Skee with us today, man. It's gonna be a good day. What's up with y'all, man? What's up with you, Ronald? Everything cool with you, my brother?
Yeah, everything's good. Only one game on the board. Man, hopefully we continue cashing these tickets, man. I know I think we had a show on Tuesday. I was the $2 Tuesday. That one lost, but I ended up winning like overall on the day. So that kind of sucks. But overall, man, WNBA has been treating us pretty well here.
That's a fact. What's up with you, Skee? Everything cool with you, my guy? You back at the crib, ready to get to some cash?
Back at the crib, feeling good. Had a great summer. Now it's time to run it back up and make that money back. Let's get to it, man.
Skee, I know your ass been spending some money over there, man. Because I was out
Oh
there, but
man,
I probably spent at least about 2,500, like outside of bed, and so. But it's all good. We make it back.
we
You
know
know
how
what
to
I'm
make
saying?
it.
That's a fact. Let's get straight to it, man. It's only one game today. If y'all don't mind, I mean, we'll talk about the NFL game too, but this is a WNBA show, man. Let's get straight to it. Let's go over here to the streets of New York in this one, man. We heading over here. Got the Liberty laying 14. I saw 13 and a half, but hey, 14 points at the house versus the LA Sparks in this one. Couple of huge question marks for the Sparks, Samuelson and Agumake as well. So be interested to see if they would play. I know Nneka's been out for the last two games, 2 to 3
Yeah.
games. I know for sure. And Carly Samuelson's been out for one. She got hit in the abs pretty bad here. What are y'all thinking? What you thinking, Ronald? Is this too many points to lay with the Liberty time? Know that they're probably the second best. I don't know, man. They can hang with the Aces, but they're probably one of the best teams in the WNBA. Do you think they keep it going here tonight at the house, Rondon?
Yeah, this one's tough because I mean I think mathematically the Liberty they're still in the race for the number one spot, but then the Aces they have Mercury in back to back games, so it's likely not gonna happen for the Liberty. So I think I don't know where the motivation is really going to be from a defensive standpoint. What's the point of focusing in on defense on this type of team or this type of game?
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing that we can see is really a focus on Stewie, right? Because she already broke the regular season record. I think that she wants to tack on that number and put it out of the reach. Her former teammate Jewel Lloyd is right behind her. I think she's like 7 points behind her, and she also got 2 games left. The Storm got the Wings up next, and she has a history of putting points up there. So I think I don't think they put a lot of emphasis on Stewie breaking this record or having this record, but I think personally she probably thinks it's an important deal for her as far as like a legacy type game or legacy type season. So I think the Liberty they're really just going to focus on offense and not defense in this game. I think they're number one in defensive rating last 10 games. Sparks also number two. So from a I guess analytics standpoint, it would point towards the under. But situationally, I think the Liberty is just going to focus on offense. If they build a big lead early on, I could see the Sparks having to push the pace and really run with this Liberty team, and that should push the number over. I know it opened at 159 and a half. I actually got it at 160 and a half this morning. It's come up to 161. I wish I got it at the open because obviously there's a couple points difference, but there's also some trends to point towards this over as well. So if we look at the Sparks, 6-2 to the over when they're playing at least their second road game in a row. The average combined score there 170. 6-1 to the over in non-conference road games with 1 day of rest, averaging combined 168. And on the Liberty side, a couple of trends to point them to the over as well. Double-digit home favorites when the total is less than 168. That's 171 combined, and then 5-0 to the over as non-conference home favorites of less than 15 points, averaging a combined score of 185. So a lot of these trends point to the over, situationally towards the over. So that's the only way that I could look here.
Yeah, no, you make some good points there, man. And like you say, when the Liberty, when they're already got their spot basically locked up, what do they need to be playing lights out defense for? You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You kind of now they want to play good defense and get ready for the playoffs, but I don't know, Ski. What we do? I'm gonna say is, I mean, the total. I don't really know how that shit gonna go. We know the Liberty can put up 100 points any night there, Ski. How you looking at this game, my brother?
Well, I was looking. I think the Liberty can still pass the Aces, but as far as like for the top spot, they're a
They would
game
need the
behind, but
Aces to
they got the
lose.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they're gonna lose to the Mercury. They got 2 games
yeah,
against the Mercury last, so that's the part that I was
that's
like,
true.
yeah,
But it's still a possibility, is all I'm saying. With that said, I just don't think they care as much about this game. But I look at the other side, like, uh, NECA on the injury report, Samuelson on the injury report. This is a game that the Sparks absolutely need. They need to win, I think, both of their last two games because the Sky, unless the Sky lose one, they need the Sky to lose one and them to win both. So I think. So Sparks should have the effort and energy. It's just I don't really trust them. I don't like the way they've been playing lately. They kind of let me down in a couple of spots I thought they should have showed up in. So if I was going to play this one, I would like to be the team who cares the most, but I like what RC is saying. I don't think the Liberty care at all about playing defense, and the Sparks just can't stop the Liberty on offense. So the Liberty all season play like at least one good half of basketball. I would roll with the first half over, probably cut it in half instead of the full game. I think the number I saw was about around 82, somewhere around there. So that's the way I would play this one.
That makes a ton of sense on that first half over, to be honest with you, because obviously if they have a huge lead there, then shit kind of slows down. So I've seen plenty of times where first half will go over and then somebody score like 9 or 11 points or something in the fourth quarter, and then it's fucked off. Yeah, so yeah, that's crazy. So Circa moved to 14 for Liberty. Y'all know how I'm thinking. There's only one way that I could look in this game. I'm not there. There's no way in here. I know that the Liberty are like they're the top dog in WNBA. Sparks been only 1-4 ATS last 5 after covering a ton in a row. So they're kind of slide out, but still have a chance to make the playoffs. All the motivation is there. I'll tell you this: in any situation, I'd never look to lay 14 points. It could be 12 points. I wouldn't look to lay double digits with the team that's already has their playoff position locked up. They're just kind of trying to go into the playoffs like playing good ball. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have the motivation to go out here and smack a team up by 20 points, like continue to put your foot on their throat. If they get up by 20 points here, 15 points, they're probably going to rest their starters in the fourth quarter, so they're not risking injury, right? So I could see a strong first half for the Liberty here, full game. There's just no type of way that I could look towards laying the points here, especially when you have the Sparks who need to win this game to get in the playoffs. All the motivation's there. Now, are they going to win it? Probably not, but you got to think about mindset coming into the game. They want to win this game. They're going to be scrappy here, right? The last game, they only had like 7 or 8 players. If they get Samuelson and Ogumwuke back, I will be betting the Sparks here for sure. I couldn't talk you guys off, just waiting to see what happens. If they're out, this line's going to go up to 15 and a half. I think regardless, situationally, I could only look towards the underdog here with a ton more to play for. And last point, Ronald, Liberty, I believe this is the 4th straight game that they've traveled. They've only had day off every single time. They were at the house. They went to, I think they went to Chicago, went down to Dallas as well. Now back up to the house. Only one day off in between, which is the travel day. I do not like the spot for the Liberty. I think the Sparks compete here, guys. Sparks plus 14 is how I'll be looking at this game. 13 and a half. That's the only way I could look, my guys. It's the only way I could look, Ronald.
Yeah, I think from a spread perspective, so my number had it actually at -16 for the Liberty. It's a big difference between what the open number was to what I have as from the model, right? But like all the situational stuff that you brought up are like this pretty much the reasons why I stayed off of the spread and why I only look towards the total, because like you said, the travel situation, the just the playoff situation in general, really, I just don't see them playing a lot of defense here. And you brought up so you guys brought up the first half. That makes a lot of sense to me, right? But the other thing is too, the Liberty are a really deep team. They still got Marine on the bench. They still got the old player that came back. She just came back recently. I forgot who she actually had played a lot of minutes in the last game as well. I forgot her name.
I want her to play Dolson.
No, not Dolson.
No,
not Dolson.
The
one that plays similarly to Laney. I forgot her name now. But then you look at the other side, right? So if this game is out of reach and the Sparks end up playing their bench players, right? They got a whole bunch of young players on their team that are offensive minded, not defensive minded. So to me, I think the full game. Yeah, Thornton. Yeah, that's right. Chris, thanks for bringing that, Thornton. I think the full game. I think first half and full game. I think they go over in both halves, in my opinion. Because if it is a blowout at the end, they still got offensive minded players coming out towards the end of the game.
No, it's a great point there. Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, hell, the Sparks, if they know they're down, know they're not going to make the playoffs. It's even if they lost this game, the Sky have to win tomorrow, and then the Sparks are out. But like I say, situationally, this is probably a spot that I would look towards every time, taking the dog with the points here with a ton more motivation, even though they hadn't been playing the best. If I guess it'll tell us everything if Nneka goes ahead and suits up. If she suits up, that tells us that they're gonna at least try, like even with a banged up knee. If she goes ahead and sits out, I think that should tell you everything you need to know about the Sparks and their mindset about this game. So it could really be that simple, to be honest with you. See any other words on Nilsson? Y'all ain't want to talk about the NFL game, man?
Man, I'm over here. I just set my thing up and my screen I can't even see y'all right now. So I'm just trying to keep up. But I agree with everything y'all said. I would only look towards the Sparks, like you said, Jay, like the first half over. And I'm not mad at RC if he wants to take the full game. That's just how I feel about the game.
No, I'm right there. I got the Lakers hat on for a reason. I got a Lakers shirt on too, man.
Are you taking Lakers futures?
I don't know. I mean, I'm taking them game one. I'll tell you that. But I don't really take a lot of futures. I bet them game to game. I mean, there could be an injury. I don't take a lot of. You're not going to get a ton of futures out of me. It's just not going to happen. But I like them in the future in game one in Denver. See what I'm saying? But I do like the Sparks today. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I kind of want to wait on Samuelson and Nneka. I think that tells me everything. But I think regardless, some tells me they keep this game within double digits, even if they. I wouldn't be surprised they won outright. That's all I say. I wouldn't be surprised if the Sparks won this shit outright.
If they say Nneka and Samuelson are ruled out, RC, you still like the over?
I think so. Did you watch the last game? It seemed they were playing with a pretty good pace without Nneka. I think what happens with Nneka is they really try to put her in the post and play that type of game, like a half court game. Without her, they're a little bit more fast paced, and I think it has to do with Clarendon. Clarendon, she likes to attack the paint a little bit more, and with Nneka there, she has no room, right? So I think that's the way they play a little. They play a little bit faster, in my opinion, without her.
No, that was a great look. Yeah, they're gonna need them back. They only had like 7 available players last game, man. They ran out of gas. But this is a spot where I think it's a good spot to fade the Liberty. I think it's a good spot to back the Sparks here. Might have to spark up today one time. Real quick. Anything on the Skee light show? I'm finna go. Skee, you got anything on the NFL game or what?
Well, it's hard to like have value now at this point because the Lions were 7.5, 6.5. Now it's all the way down to 4.5. Like all the value has been extracted. So that's tough. I still, it makes me nervous to bet against Mahomes when it starts getting that low of a spread. But I think I like Pacheco. And let me see if I can pull this back up here. Like last year, just off the top of my head, like they started using him a lot more. Like he was averaging somewhere around like 70 rushing yards per game. And I want to say 9 of his – wait, let me see. Here it goes. He had at least 10 rushes in all 3 playoff games. And he had, 95 yards in one, 76 yards in one. And to end the year, they were just using him a lot more. So I feel like that combined with how bad the Lions were on run defense last year, like they were either last or second to last as far as like giving up big runs. So I think a combination of those things, Kelsey, they'll probably use Pacheco a little bit more. And hopefully if he breaks, one big run, we're already halfway there for the total. So I like Pacheco. It went up from 49.5 yards rushing to 51.5.
Okay. Like you say, if no Kelsey out there, they got to go with a different game plan as well. It's crazy because I've hyperextended my knee before and I couldn't fucking walk for at least 2 weeks. I didn't think I was ever going to walk again. So I don't know if he actually did hyperextend knee. I think Kelsey going to be out for sure. It could be a huge blow. I don't know. I did take the Lions plus the 7. So, it is what it is. I'm going to live with that result regardless of what happens. But Kelsey out being help and the defensive end as well. Just makes it a little bit better for me, Ronald. Any thoughts on that NFL game tonight that everybody's going to be paying attention to?
Yeah. I like the over. I haven't taken it yet. The last time I saw it was at 53. I do like the over for a few reasons. I think the reason why I stayed away from the spread though is Mahomes. Like I do like the Lions, right? I wish I had it at the 7. But like Skee said, 4.5, I'm probably not going to take it. Mahomes, I think he's won the last 8 season openers. So that's the reason why I stayed off of the spread. But I do like the over here. A couple of reasons why I like the defensive. I like the lack of defense from the Chiefs there. And I think the offensive line for the Detroit Lions are going to put them in position to be able to score and keep up with the Chiefs. So in my opinion, I think both teams kind of go over their team total. I think I was talking to a couple of guys. One guy liked the Chiefs team total over. I like the Lions team total over. I think they scored at least 24, and I think the numbers are 23 and a half. But it's too close for me to take that. But I think overall, just the over 53 is a good way to go. A good way to go.
Man, we're gonna start calling you Team Total Run, man. I dig it. I like the, you know what I'm saying? I like you got me looking at team totals. But anything else for NFL week 1 college football that y'all looking at before we get out of here, my guys?
Nothing for me, man. Taking it
Come
day
on,
by
man. You
day.
ain't betting no college football, man.
I do. I have a look on I think it was Iowa or
Okay.
Iowa. Yeah, Iowa. Whichever one's the home team, but I haven't deep dived into it. That's just a model play. But I don't just blind tail my models. I gotta do a deep dive, and I didn't get a chance to do it yet.
Yeah, Iowa State is at home. And
Yeah, Iowa State. Yeah, so Iowa State
Skee,
+4, I think.
Skee, you like anything in college or NFL for week 1? I know you liking some shit in week 1. You already told me one of them.
Yeah, I ain't rocking with the college yet. I gotta watch and
Okay.
learn. I'll get in that college more towards the end of the year. But I like the Ravens. I had bet them earlier in the summer, -9.5. I think you can still get -10 now. But you got they always start off the season strong at home, mostly because of how serious they take the preseason. And I know they weren't that great in the preseason this year, but they just always have success in week 1, especially when they're at the or my bad, let me pull this back up. When they're at the house. And then the Texans, they got a new quarterback, new coach. I just don't see them being able to keep up. So it was a little bit more why I like that. I wasn't as prepared to talk about that on this show, but Ravens -10 was a play that I made. I do also I teased the Packers. Man, I made a lot of these plays a while ago, and now I just now coming out of party mode. I'm trying to look them back up. I put the Dolphins +9 with the Packers +8.5. I don't think you can still get that Packers number, but the Chargers, y'all know that's my team. They when they're a favorite, you don't want to be laying points with them. And especially, if you can get an extra 6 points on top of that in a teaser. I don't have the exact numbers, but you've been making money if you fade the Chargers in that spot. So I like the Dolphins to keep it, respectable with the +9 along with the Packers. Packers have owned the Bears. I know a lot of that was Aaron Rodgers, but even the game where he didn't play within that span, the Packers still won. And I just can't be laying with the Bears. That's just how I feel. You're gonna give me over a touchdown on the teaser, I'll take it. And I do lean towards the Steelers, lean towards the Giants, and I like the Jets. So we'll
Yeah,
see
me too.
if I get there with all of them.
I like Giants, Jets. I hadn't bet those yet. I like the Bears. I like the Browns. Those are two. I told y'all on the last show
All
that
the
I'm on those
Browns.
shits. Yeah, I like both of them. One for college football, man. That I'm eyeing Nebraska plus the 3.5, or first half. I feel like Colorado will come out. They've been getting whacked off all week at school. You see what I'm saying? They be getting jerked off all week. I'm telling you this, patted on the back, all that. I think this is gonna be a letdown spot for Colorado. Nebraska's a little bit better than they were. You see what I'm saying? So I think this could be a spot. Colorado's going to win next week versus Colorado State, but I think this could be a huge letdown game. Everybody's on the bandwagon. I love Coach Prime. I love what they're doing, but this could be a huge letdown. Everybody's betting them. It's like 90% of money on Colorado. I don't like it. I like to fade everybody. I like Nebraska. First half could be a better look, but that's one college football game that I'm looking at. Bears, Browns, Giants, Jets. I like all four of them. Them shit's going 4-0. You dig what I'm saying? But let's get out of here, man. Let's get some cash today, Ronald. What you liking for today, my brother?
Just the over. I gave that out as a client play, and I think it's good up to 163 if it gets up to that point. But I don't think it will. So the over is the way to go for me.
I like it. Anything for you today, Skee? Anything you want to leave the people with?
I haven't made anything official in this WNBA game, but if I'm making a play, it'll be that first half over. I am going to play that NFL one I talked about. I like Pacheco over the 51.5 rushing yards. So you know where my money's at, and I gave you an opinion on the WNBA.
Okay. Yeah, and if I'm betting tonight, man, I'm telling you right now, I'm taking the Sparks, man. That's the only way that I could look at this game. If you'd like to wait on Agumuke and Carly Samuelson, I couldn't talk you off. I think regardless, the Sparks might have a chance to win this game. This is their season right here. So, I mean, if they just don't care, they can get blown out by 20, 30 points. But some tells me they're at least going to put up a fight and try to make the playoffs. See what I'm saying? Versus one of the top tier teams. This is a bounce back spot. I mean, and they played the Liberty twice, really close at the house as well, both times. So if the Liberty don't have revenge, anything like that, I think it's a bad travel spot for them coming back to the house off 2 straight road games, 4 straight games with travel. I think it's a horrible spot to be laying 14 with the home favor in this one, no matter what the name on the jerseys are. I'd be looking towards taking the dog with a lot more motivation. That's the show, man. Let's get some cash. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Y'all go follow us on Twitter right now. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody in the chat for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe to each one of our channels, and let your friends and family know about it as well. If you're at the sports book, then let the people know about the shows, man. We're gonna be doing NFL, college football, NBA, WNBA, all that shit, man. Let's get some cash. We out. Let's go.
Peace.
Get this cheddar, baby.